It's Lisa Rothman, the founder of StopFamilyConflict.com. In these videos, I talk a lot about how to collaborate with children, how to make decisions with children instead of for children. But in this video, I want to talk about how to collaborate with anybody who you are partnering with. Because time and time again, when I'm supporting people, they say, help me get on the same page with my partner. And of course you want to be on the same page with someone, because if you're not, that's certainly going to result in the kids getting confused and more conflict happening, and now you're trying to manage conflict with your kid and conflict with your partner, and oh my goodness. But the challenge that I see people get into is that they think that getting on the same page with their partner means that they need to be on the same page with their partner about their priorities and values. And I think that's actually pretty impossible. I think it's very hard to get on the same page with someone if you have different priorities and values than they do. And we have different priorities and values. I mean, frequently there's overlap, but typically the conflicts, when we're not on the same page, it's because we have different values and priorities than the other person. In this case, the partner who we are raising this child with. What is possible? Well, what we can get on the same page about is a strategy that attends to the needs that are underneath those values and priorities that I'm trying to meet, and attends to my partner's needs that are underneath those strategies and priorities that they are trying to meet. That we have hope of getting onto the same page with. And so I want to illustrate this with a recent example from today, in fact, and then share with you, okay, what are the steps so you can apply this to your own life when you have a sense that you're not on the same page, if you have a partner, or really with anybody in any conflict. These principles apply in any situation, in my experience. Okay, so the situation is that I was working with a mom, and she wanted to get on the same page as her husband about bath time and their 7-year-old child. Okay, and she is just, oh God, they are so not on the same page. She wants her child, and she's given me permission to tell you the story. I'm obscuring details, so there's no way you would know who these people are. Okay, so she wants her child to be, he's 7, she wants him to be cultivating a sense of independence and taking care of himself and cleaning his own body. And so she wants to just be pretty hands-off. Like, as long as he's, washing his body, which he seems completely happy and willing to do, that's good. She doesn't need to be doing any sort of double check around that. Her husband is not on the same page with her about that, though, right now. He is, before their son's go in, while her son is cleaning himself. He's like, are you cleaning that? Are you doing this? Just many questions throughout, and also lots of concern about how much water is being used. So much concern. And so the mom who I was working with is just, and she was like, how can she get on this? How can they get on the same page when they, when she wants the independence and he clearly is wanting to really get in there. So what I wanted to look at actually in this was fear. What's she afraid of? And to explore with her what she thinks he is afraid of. And so, she's afraid that, she wants her son to have, to really trust his own abilities to take care of himself and clean himself. Because she wants to contribute to his growth and development in this way. And so that was really clear about that. And then we started to think about what her husband might be afraid of that would have him so asking these questions. And she said, oh. And it turned out that a few years ago, their son had developed a fungal infection on a part of his body, and they'd actually needed to go to the hospital to treat it. And while this hadn't actually for her been such a big deal, she saw it as a learning opportunity. The antifungal cream took care of everything. Like, it was not a big deal. And she really trusts that her son understands about this now. What we're have a very strong hunch about is that this was a very, very big deal to her husband. And to try to counteract, resist, convince her husband to not feel that fear, that worry that he has that they could end up back in the hospital again with a fungal infection, is going, I believe, to be futile. It's going to just create conflict and tension and escalate the situation. And their pages are going to even be further apart in the book than they are right now. So the question then becomes how to attend to his fear, because she's not going to argue him out of it. Has anyone been able to argue you out of a fear? No one's been able to argue me out of a fear applying logic. Look, you can't argue with feelings. If I'm scared of something, I'm scared of something. Meet me where I am at and work with me. That's how we're going to get on the same page. And so what then came out also as we looked at, okay, and why is water use so important to him? And the mom I'm working with, she said, I take these really long showers. She's like, so don't talk to me about limiting water use. So I'm like, wow, so he can't control your shower use. Clearly he has a big priority around, limiting water use, stewarding resources, water in particular. And you've made it clear he's not he can't impact you. You're going hog wild with those showers. So and he takes very short showers. And so the only other beings in the house that he could control are his kids, are to try to control with the water use are his kids. So he's got this, that's why he's getting in there. Turn the shower off. Don't use it so much. So the proposal that she's going to make to him about how they could be on the same page with strategies as opposed that attend to both of their concerns and not try to convince him out of his priorities or get her to take shorter showers. This is not going to yield anything, I don't think, is she's going to ask him if he would be willing to wait to ask their son if he's washed this particular body part until after her son has finished the shower. Because she's noticed that in the past, when he has asked it at that point, her son's like, oh, actually, wait, I forgot. And he'll go back and do it quite readily. He has intrinsic motivation, just sometimes he forgets. So she's going to ask her husband if he's willing to limit the question till the end. And also to ask him how long a shower, what's the longest shower that he'd want his son or bath that he'd want his son taking, and could they set a timer? Because so that's going to get, this way she wants to contribute to her son's independence met, and we're thinking, our hunch is it's going to be giving her husband the peace of mind that he needs, that his concerns are being attended to. Okay. So once again, recap what this means for you. When you're not on the same page with someone, check in. What is your concern? And what are the needs that are underlying that concern? What are the other person's concerns? Don't resist them. Don't fight them. What are the needs that are underlying those? How could you get peace of mind for all of your fears met? And then from that point, now you can actually involve your child, because now, the next step after they're on the same page is, of course, then seeing if this works for their child. I'm not saying, okay, now that you two have it figured out, go impose your will on the 7-year-old. No, but once they have something figured out, now they're going to be much more ready to be able to integrate whatever comes up for him when they make this proposal to him. Okay, if you would like any more tips or ideas about how to uncover needs, please get yourself a conflict prevention jumpstart kit. The details for doing that are in the details of this YouTube video. And also please hit the bells and like the things and do all the things. Okay? Great. Bye for now.